Please welcome to the stage President Dennis Asanas.
Yeah. Okay, good afternoon now. As an engineer, I should know a little better to turn on, the switch. But so my wife, Eleni, who is sitting right here, and I are really thrilled to be with all of you, and we want to welcome you to the University of Delaware, those of you who have joined us from other places, as well as to this great summit on media and democracy organized by iMEdD, the Institute for Media and Democracy. And obviously, I want to recognize the Stavros Niarchos Ithaca Initiative for bringing this to our campus and the support of the Stavros Niarchos Foundation. Let's give all the contributors who organized this a hand. So this is a very emotional day for me. I started university a little over 9 years ago. And today I announced my plans to step down, as I feel I've worked on the meaningful work and objectives that we all share. And I think it's time for a new perspective. But I think on this a very emotional day for me about my inauguration speech and all the things I said during that, and which I think they are still true today. So I think about the infinite possibilities that are ahead of the University of Delaware and ahead of all of you. And clearly, some of those possibilities to enhance knowledge and collaboration and to have the courageous conversations that are upon all of us to have. And this is what moves the society and democracy forward. So in so many ways, this summit brings those possibilities to life. Over the next couple of days, you're going to hear from acclaimed journalists from some of the media that hopefully we still trust. And some of them are New York Times and CNN, and also emerging voices like YouTube and TikTok and so on. And so you'll form your own perspective, and forming perspectives that are different sometimes than ours is very, very important. So together, we're going to explore what it takes to thrive in a toxic media environment. And that's what we, unfortunately, have to navigate today. We have to navigate the polarization that we have in our society, the misinformation and all that, while upholding truth, trust, and our democratic values. So I think this is a very important moment for all of us. And I do want to express my sincere thanks to Andreas Drakopoulos and the Stavros Niarchos Foundation. Without their support, this would have never been possible. And not just this summit, so many of the transformational efforts that we had on this campus, everything on civil discourse and civic engagement that Professor Shaffer is leading, obviously is possible through that generous support. And we're equally grateful to Kynthia Bousdoukou today, who is going to be leading this summit. Let's give her a warm hand. Thank you for the great work you've been doing, very courageous as a journalist, meaningful work, and thank you for your enduring partnership and friendship that we cherish, both Eleni and I. So, absolutely, thank you. And so I know that you want to hear from other people. All I'll say is this summit really in many ways reflects our vision for responsible journalism and truth in media and in society. This is the foundation for democratic values to build a great society. And I want to especially appeal to all the students in the room. I'm so happy that we have so many of you in the room, because the future of our nation and the future of democracy in the world more broadly is on your hands. So enjoy, partake, engage in civil discourse, hear different perspectives, as I said, respect open dialogue, and with this, have a wonderful, wonderful summit. And I'm going to ask now Kynthia and Tim to come to the stage. Anna. And I meant to say Kynthia. Kynthia, please come. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, let's give a hand to President Asanas. He's done a lot for the university for the last 9 years, and we're really grateful, particularly as it relates to the SNF Ithaca Initiative, which we launched in the fall of 2021, and in many ways we're kind of building off of where we've been since then. So let me just say a couple quick things. Thank you for coming. This is our Media Democracy Summit that we get to do in collaboration between our two organizations. We'll say just a little bit more about that in a moment, and we'll get it turned over to the speakers that so many of you I know want to be hearing from, maybe more so than maybe me and Anna, which is okay, but we need to set this up just a little bit. So this day and a half, this afternoon into this evening and tomorrow, if you haven't signed up for other sessions, I would encourage you can still do it. This is going to be an opportunity to think about, as President Asanas was talking about, the real challenges that we have in our world today. Our media landscape, right, as we talk about it being somewhat toxic, is really challenging, and we need to find ways to navigate through some of these things. So let me turn it over to my colleague. I'm going to introduce Kynthia Bousdoukou, who is a great collaborator with us. She's the co-founder and managing director of iMEdD, which is a nonprofit journalism organization that was established in 2018 with support from the Stavros Niarchos Foundation. So we've been fortunate to work together for the last number of years and hosting this second Media Democracy Summit. So let me turn it over to Anna.
Thanks, Tim. Good afternoon to everyone. Allow me, please, before moving forward, to express from our side, on behalf of both organizations, SNF, the Stavros Niarchos Foundation, and iMEdD, from all of us, our sincere condolences for the loss of the student as a part of the university as an organization, first and foremost, and for the life and the reality that you have to deal and move forward. So, again, on behalf of all of us. And exactly because life moves forward, thanks for having us again. We're back. Last year, we're here, holding the first summit around media and democracy. Thanks to you personally, Tim, because you really believe to that work and to the importance of holding this summit, and that's why we're here, we're back. And since I mentioned the importance of journalism, might be question ourselves, yourselves, ourselves, because I am also included, that's why I said ourselves. What's the importance of journalism? And what's the importance of journalism with regards to our democracies? But I would say that I strongly believe that if we are not well informed as human beings, we cannot be active citizens. And you know very well that I keep repeating that all the time. But I think that we understand why, because we have the need, and many times we don't know how to be more active citizens. Of course, there is a lack of trust in journalism, and of course, I do know that very well. But there is a reason why, because the main media industry has become completely irrelevant, I would say, with our problems, with our daily lives overall. So, consequently, we ignore journalism, and we feel that we don't need journalism, apart from not trusting journalism and journalists, but we do need journalism. And the reason why we do need journalism is because otherwise we will remain just passive receivers scrolling down our screens, and that's all. But I think that we need something more than that, especially when we notice all the challenges around us. And in the same way, journalism has challenges, in the same that democracies have to face challenges so often. But on the other hand, that's also the beauty of a democracy. So we're here instead of analyzing again the problems and recognizing what's going wrong and what's going even worse. We're here to introduce and to expose all of you to modern tools, ways, and methods that journalism can follow in order to be more relevant to our lives, so that we can be, as we said, more informed as citizens and react to our daily lives. And One more thing, it happens, actually last week, I visited the museum in Washington, D.C. with my colleague Dimitris Bounias, who is leading this effort on behalf of iMEdD with regards to the summit. And we visited the Museum of the History of Africans Americans. And it was a session about the importance of education and information, because the power of democracy, it's the pillar of education and the pillar of journalism, the information. Without any of them, it's very difficult to speak about democracy. Education, information. That's why we, journalists, we are here with you and with all of you to that university, to the University of Delaware, because we need to connect the dots. We need journalism. Democracy needs journalism. All of us need democracy. And in the end of the day, we need all of you, the youngest generation of universities and you, the university community, since you will lead us very soon.
So let me say just a couple quick words and we'll turn it over to our first session. This summit is framed around this language of thriving in a toxic media environment. Why is this our theme? We recognize these challenges, right? We experience all of this when it comes to getting information, how we understand the world around us, individually and collectively. And so media is a central part to our lives. How we understand, as Anna was just saying, how do we even access information, and how do we understand one another and those around us. So for the next couple days, this is gonna be small. You won't read it very well. This is the worst example of a slide, right? But if your professors do this, shame on them also. But we've got sessions all afternoon. In this space, right after, we'll have a couple breakouts for workshops with the presenters in just a moment, as well as a colleague, Carl Baker, from Spotlight Delaware. And then followed after that, we will have a session, a very interactive session led by students. So please attend that at 4:10. And then we'll have a presentation from Sarah Grace at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, followed by a keynote in collaboration with the UD Journalism Program for our Byline event with Estad Herndon and Domenico Montanaro from the New York Times and NPR, respectively. So we've got a lot more tomorrow, even smaller font, because it's a long day. So a lot going on in the next day and a half. So if you are not registered for the other sessions, you can still do so. We would encourage you to do so. We would really welcome you to be part of that. So let me turn it over to Anna, and then we'll get the other folks on the stage here in just a second.